Hello everyone, Cambear Run here, and welcome back to another episode of One Season Wonder. This episode, we're in OGC Nice on the French Riviere. So, OGC Nice in 2019 were taken over by Jim Ratcliffe and the Ineos group. You may remember Jim Ratcliffe, he floated around the news all last summer because he was interested in taking over Chelsea, or end of last season, when the invasion happened and Abramovich was forced to put Chelsea up for sale. And then he's also been linked with taking over Manchester United. But he's also the owner of OGC Nice. So, I'd also took interest because their transfer policy over the summer was interesting. I'm just going to quickly show you the tactics page. I can't get a full subs bench because the amount of players that got on loan and who are gone. So their transfer history has been interesting. So out has gone promising young talent Amin Yuri to, league rivals Rennes. Out has gone Kasper Dolberg on loan to Sevilla. Promising young talent Calvin Stengs has gone out on loan to Antwerp. And quite a few players have left. In fact, I think they've got a bigger out list than a fucking outgoing list and ingoing list. And, well, to be fair, this one was me. But some of their inclusions include Kasper Schmeichel, Ross Barkley, Aaron Ramsey, Sylvain Diop, who is actually quite good, same as Gaetan Laborde. Fucking Mario Lemina, which he's not on here, but he is listed as moving in 2023. I believe he went previous season. And of course, they have Nicolas Pepe on loan. They brought in a lot of, I don't want to say rejects, but certainly players who may be either coming towards the end of their careers in the Premier League, like Kasper Schmeichel, who's 35, have previously played in the Premier League but don't play there anymore, like Aaron Ramsey, or have never really made the grade, like Barkley, like Pepe. They also have Morgan Schneiderlin, and they also have fucking Mario Lemina. They have a lot of ex-PL and old PL players they brought in. I know in real life under Lucien Favre they're not actually doing that well. But my bigger problem is the fact they don't particularly have a very large squad. Though admittedly this does include me already loading up Bonani, and you won't find Dante because he was 38. I released him on a free the first day, my first day in the door, because I'm not putting up with a 38-year-old. So I do need to find another defender. I'm also going to try and secure a couple of loans, but I'm going to have a fun one. But first, let's talk about the goal. So the initial goal was, where's the competitions? Initial goal was to qualify for the Champions Europa League, but we've already got that as an app. It's literally in the fucking, what do you call it? The club vision. That was the meeting that I was taught. The board expectations to qualify for the Europa League. I would like to win a cup. That would be the goal, to win a trophy. So we got either UEFA Europa League or the Coupe de France. I think we can do it, because realistically with the Coupe de France, it's get to an inevitable final against PSG and just desperately try and win. The Conference League might be a bit more interesting. So that's currently in the thing. We'll deal with that later. So the rule is going to stick in line with some of their more recent purchases in the transfer market, which is that I'm only allowed to sign players from the Premier League. That's it. I've already specifically got scouting for players in England. They have not started it yet, to be fair. I only said it yesterday. So, that's the other problem I have. Nearly every single one of my players, tons of them, are wanted by other clubs. Wanted. 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 You get the idea. The other kind of issue I have is that I've got a lot of wingers in this squad, and I don't really use wingers. I'm using 4-4-2 diamond. If it becomes a serious problem, I will probably end up changing tactics to 4-3-3 DM, which I know is kind of like the more standard formation you use in the game, but I do want to make the diamond narrow formation work for now. There are some positives to this side, like you have the young talents in Kefran Turam and Jean-Claire Todibo. You also have players like Sylvain Diop, who is pretty much one of the major new signings this season. There is some optimism, but I mean, some of the ages, some of the squad members is really concerning. Plus the amount they've sold and trying to get in the players. I'm still missing fucking 3 subs off there here. It's kind of, they don't have a very big squad. I'll probably try and get some loans in. I'll probably see if we do one more deal. The problem is I've only got about 3 million left. I mean, the original budget was 303. I've got some wage budget to spend, but they are lost this month is about $1 million. So we need to be fucking careful because it seems to be a bit of an issue. I can try and get more transfer budget, but I think they won't do that because I've only just joined. So I'm going to clear out the rest of all of this fucking shit, which is insane, by the way. We've got to play a couple of matches in a couple of days. So, yeah, I will join you right before the first day of the season on the 7th, and I'll show you anything I've managed to get done. Alright. Okay, it is the day before the beginning of the Liga Art season, and I might be dumb as shit. So, basically, I said the rule was Premier League players only. I straight up fucking forgot how overinflated the value of players are. I tried to get a couple on loan, which include Mark Guehi, Max Kilman, and most frustratingly, Yannick Vestergaard. But the problem was every single one came with a mandatory option to buy required. It was like 20 million. And you can't really make the budget for that. Obviously, none of this is proven, but I believe that some people believe that Ratcliffe has just pulled a ton of money out of Nice because he wants to either buy Chelsea or Manchester United, and he's kind of got bored of them. Can't prove it. Don't sue me. Yeah, don't sue me, Mr. Ratcliffe. But yeah, there's like no money to spend. Considering this is a club that was supposed to be taken over by a billionaire with the aim of, I believe when he took over, he said he was going to try and challenge for the Liga R title. Seems to have gotten rid of that very, very quickly. I mean, their transfer policy was mad as well. So, we're probably going to have to go in with this squad. I think we should be okay. I can make most of the squad. I think you get 9 substitutes. So, we'll just very quickly move this. So, this is probably the squad that I'm going to go with most games. So, this is basically the best I can do. So, I've got Schmeichel, Bryan, Bax Sorensen, Todibo, Lotomba, Rosario, Ramsey, Barkley, Diop, Laborde, and Delort. Delort being basically who hopefully will be my main goal threat. It's going to take him a while to get into the tempo of my system, but hopefully by the point we should get it out of the way. Our first 3 games should, in theory, be able to win. But we do have to face either Viborg or Zorya Luhansk in the Europa League Conference League qualifying path. So our first 3 games to lose Strasbourg, Clermont-Foot, then it's Marseille and Lille, which will be a bit tougher. Obviously, at the end of September, we face PSG. I'm not expecting to get anything out of that. I'll be lucky if I come away with less than 3-0. So, yeah, I mean, we should have enough winnable games to be able to finish comfortably in the Europa League places. I'm worried about teams like Lyon, Monaco, Marseille. I'm not really worried about Lille, Reims, and then that should be it. I mean, we don't enter the Coupe de France until January, and we'll probably get one of the amateur sides, so that'll be fine. Other than that, I'm looking at the schedule, obviously PSG, we're not going to get anything. Realistically, it's that little run kind of roundabout here. I'd say this run here, and probably this run at the start is where we're going to pick up most of our points. Just skip the PSG game and just try and battle hard against Marseille and Lille and Monaco. Because I think Lyon will be quite tough, Marseille will be quite tough, Lille will be tough, and obviously PSG are just fucking PSG. They've just opened the season with a 4-0 win against Clermont. And that was fucking Messi hat-trick inside 30 minutes. So, you see what's going to go down there. I think I was almost about to change my rule and say just no transfers. Because it's about the fucking same. I've made 1 offer. Whether it'll be accepted, I don't know. And kind of whether I'll be able to whether it'll be any good, I don't know. We'll have to see. But it's just because I'm going to need the defender. Because obviously I've released Dante. But we'll have to see how it goes. Anyway, you will catch up with me at the end of August. Let's get into it. Okay, so it's basically the beginning of September. I've already played through August. I didn't realise, by the way, that, they're in they must have accrued a lot of debt. We made 70 million profit this season, but we've lost 221,000. We're overall in debt. But, I mean, I made a profit last month, and it only just lifted it out. So, I have no idea what the fuck is going on over here. I might need to sell, in January. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. How do we do nothing in ticket revenue? What? Oh, must all kick in later. Let's go to the forecast. Yeah, projection. So, oh boy. So we're going to lose a lot of fucking money. Shit. Wow. So yeah, I might need to shift some names and get some cheaper replacements. I can see why they've got all this issue with, like, fucking Ross Barkley and Aaron Ramsey just bringing in players who will be on a little bit less. Anyway, so in terms of results, so we got off to a good start at least. We beat Toulouse 2-0, beat Strasbourg 1-0, though that game was very, very close. We beat Zorya Luhansk 2-1 in Ukraine because there's an alternate dimension where it's perfectly safe to travel to Ukraine. Because this is... hang on a minute. Yeah, it has recognized that it's in Kiev. Because obviously you can't go to the east these days. So we drew 1-1 with Clermont Foot because we were tired, as you do. We beat Zorya 3-1 in France, thankfully. Then we very, very good. We got a good 2-1 win against Marseille, which was Stéphane Diop scoring two goals in the first half that we did concede to a Dimitri Payet goal in the 91st minute. Problem was we then went up against Lille. We literally lost to fucking Morgan Schneidlin deciding he couldn't figure out where to pass the ball in the 93rd minute. I don't know whether to say it's what to be expected of tired players who are in their 30s, or whether it is literally just the game. I'm going to show you the goal. And I will try and pause it this time for the speed, because the last couple of times I've tried to show people goals, it plays at an absolute lightning speed, because it plays at the same speed as my highlights. If we play it from here and turn it down slightly, you want to see this. So I believe, yeah, it comes from this throw-in. Yeah, Schneidlin gets the ball here. Basically doesn't pay any attention to where Ramsey is and just gives the ball away on a weak pass. And then they're through, and then they score. Like, that's in the 93rd minute of 3 minutes of added time. I can't tell whether it's a mistake to be expected from a tired 32-year-old, or who I don't really subbed on, by the way. I subbed him on at like 60 minutes. Or whether it's fucking just the game screwing me. But either way, we've got... Where's the fucking thing? In terms of the top scorers, we've got 3 different top scorers. Ross Barkley, Delort, and Stéphane Diop. The big problem I do have at the moment is that I've got 2 very bad key injuries. I've got Pablo Rosario out for another 2 to 3 weeks. He injured himself. He broke his collarbone in the 2-1 win in Ukraine, so he's been out for like 6 weeks. And now Stéphane Diop is out for 2 to 3 weeks after the Marseille game, immediately after the Lille game, with a training injury suffered on the 30th of August. So I've now got to try and survive for like 2 to 3 weeks, but I think I've got an international break coming up. So let's see, we've got to play Monaco. No, I do not. But we do have enough time between... Okay, that's fair. So we play Monaco on the Saturday, and we've got enough of a break to Dinamo Batumi, who is in our group for the Europa Conference League. So we got Dinamo Batumi, Young Boys, and Wolfsberger, who actually, they beat Fiorentina as well, which is fucking hilarious to get through. So, yeah, we've got games in September against Monaco, AC Ajaccio, Young Boys, Angers, who are doing actually quite well well, they're sick. They were at one point second. They've dropped off slightly. But they're still doing quite well. And then we finish up in September against PSG. So realistically, we need to be winning both games against Ajaccio and Angers and try and get something out of the Monaco result, because we're just going to get fucking battered against PSG. So, yeah. Okay, I will see you at the end of September. Okay, it's the end of September, coming into 1st of October, and I am not liking that financial status. 1.8 million lost in 1 month. Most of it on fucking expenditure. Beginning to think that I'm going to have to make some sales if I want to keep this club afloat, but then I'm only here a season, so who fucking cares? So, in terms of results, I mean, aside from the PSG game, which went about as well as you'd expect, I'm amazed they only scored 4. The only thing I could have said is that I went my second goalkeeper, Marcin Bulka. I'm getting tired, to be honest, I'm getting tired of Kasper Schmeichel flapping acrosses. So, we're going to get that. The only thing that was frustrating was the 3-2 defeat to Monaco. Wijan Ben Yedder, I had tried to have Tim Ream pick him up, and Tim Ream just couldn't catch him. Tim Ream, by the way, I totally forgot about. We signed him from Fulham for like $2 million. He's like 34, but he's at least a fucking defender. Squad player, but maybe past his best. You're saying that again. Like, Jesus Christ. Oh, he can play... well, yeah, he can at least play defensive midfielder. I was going to sell Kevin Durant on deadline day, and then I didn't do it because I was going to pick up somebody else to cover. But we also had a massive injury crisis. I think at one point in the squad, we had Barkley, Diop, Matteo Vitti, Pablo Rosario, and 2 others all out of the field. We've still got a ton of injuries. Ross Barkley is basically returning now. VT is returning in 2 days, but we're starting to get the squad back together. But it was like we had like 5-6 players injured. And this squad's already paper thin as it is. You can imagine what injuries did. I've managed to blood some kids through. I think the one that I'm going to start looking to maybe play in a few more games is Rarezili? I think that's how you say it. He's Romanian. He's only 19, but exciting young prospect who isn't far from first team level. He played quite well in the match against Dinamo. Not even against Dinamo. It was against Ajako. He actually ended up starting that match, and he ended up coming on with sub that match. He did quite well. And Angers I started against him because of the fucking injury crisis. He started against Angers, and he actually did really, really well. So we smashed Dinamo Batumi with a hat-trick from Gaetan Laborde and 2 from Nicolas Pepe, who is now fully adapted to being an attacking forward, an advanced forward. So I managed to train him again. You can teach him new tricks, which is quite fun. I forget he's not actually that old. He's only like 28. Then we narrowly beat Ajaccio, which was fucking annoying actually because we took the lead. They equalised on half-time. We got another goal through Delort, and then we were under the cosh. Same as Young Boys, we did not deserve to win 4-2. We were 3-0 up at like we were 4-0 up at 3-0 up at half-time. They got one back. Brain is a bit stressful between the fucking injury crisis and trying to read through these. So we 3-1 up at half-time. We got another goal, and then they scored again, and they were actually on top for most of the game. Yeah, we went up against Angers. We got a good win there. First goal for Jordan Latomba as well. So far, our top scorer is Andy Delort with 8 goals in the league. 11 goals overall. I think that's right. Yeah, six in the league. Yeah, 4 in the league. Fucking 4 in the cup. I'm sure he scored more goals than that. But we've got other people chipping in goals as well. Barkley scored a few goals. Siofane Diop scored a few goals. So, as for the October, first game against Wolfsberger, Troyes, Wolfsberger, Auxerre. Yeah, there are some very, very, very winnable games in this. We really need to be winning all of these. The only one that might give us a challenge is RC Lorient, and probably the return leg at home against Young Boys. But hopefully by then we'll have completely sealed that up. So, yeah, October is going to be the month where we really need to win some games. I said that about fucking September, and then I didn't realize we had fucking PSG at the end of it. But the only other thing after that is that probably because of all of this, I'm probably going to do November and December in one. So we've only got like 4 games in November and December. So, yeah. I'm going to see you at the end of October. Okay, it's the end of October, and this squad might actually be the fucking death of me. It's been it's not necessarily been a bad month, but it's been a bit of a stressful one. I'll explain why in a minute. But on to the results. So we started off quite well. We got a good 3-1 win against Wolfsberger, with 2 goals from Aaron Ramsey as well, which was pretty cool. And a very acrobatic effort from Matteo Vitti. Then we went and beat Troyes. So we got the goal from Delort. Ugbo equalised. Then Budawi and Delort, I'm probably butchering that, and Delort ended up restoring our lead. We got a 4-2 win against Wolfsberger, which was a little bit frustrating because I think we ended up going 3-0 up, and then we conceded 2 very late 2 goals in quick succession. I thought we were going to throw it away, but Nicolas Pepe goal set it right. Also, in this, Pepe has missed like 2 pens, and I'm not going to put him on penalties anymore. Then we went 2-0 down to Auxerre. We managed to pull it back and win 4-2, but that was not fun. Then we got 2 draws against Nantes. Yeah, the last 3 games we've played, we've drawn. 3-3 with Nantes. where we kept trading goals and it was painful. We literally went 3-2 up and then they equalised like a minute later. 2-2 draw with Young Boys. We fell behind twice, came back through CFA and Diop. And then we got a draw with FC Lorient. This team struggles. Even the wins are quite laboured. But the win against Dinamo Batumi and the opening day win against Toulouse, even a lot of the wins that we have are like massively laboured. We leak way too many goals. Our defence, Ream, has been an absolute fucking failure. He's just not particularly good. He's already considered past his best. 11 appearances, average rating 6.8. The last two I think he's played, he's been 6.5 and 6.6. The only person who is any way, shape, or reliable cannot stay on the field long enough because of stamina reasons, that's Todibo. Which a lot of that is due to the fact we're playing so many games and the squad is paper thin, so getting a decent cover in is difficult. Back Sorensen has been pretty good. He is now fucking injured for 6 days to 3 weeks. And then Viti, he's young, but he's doing alright. Which is where I've got like my literal only hope, saving grace. So, other than that, the other major problem is at the moment, we are quite literally struggling for fucking goals. Right. I will rest him then. Because to be fair, he has played like every single fucking game. So, I will take Delort out of the team for the moment. And then, Brahimi is unregistered. Brilliant. Okay, well, he can still stay on the bench, but he simply won't play. We are we're kind of struggling between the fact that we have a lot of kind of like games in a row, and on top of that, we have like quite a thin squad. I'm trying to get through some of the kids like Willian Zuma and Rarazila, but it's kind of becoming a massive problem because I might need to genuinely make some signings in the January, and I might need to like forego my rule because if I'm consistently trying to get Premier League players, I'm gonna end up on my arse because unless I raid their under 21 sides, there's no way I'm going to be able to afford Premier League players because they're so inflated. It was supposed to be a fun little gimmick because they've signed a lot of like players from the Premier League on a free, and I thought, oh well, it'd be quite funny to get rid of get some of the surplus requirements, but it's like literally been completely like it's the only one I was able to bring is Tim Ream, and he's been fucking awful. So I think the biggest problem is perhaps maybe get one more centre back in, try and get another midfielder in, or at least a DM to cover, because we've been trying Lemina in the ball winning midfielder role. He's been okay, but he's not been quite there. And then obviously Morgan Schneiderlin has been fine, but he's too old. And you saw he made a massive mistake, and that's kind of held it against him. Rosario, I mean, even in Rosario himself has not been great. But I mean, the next problem with that is that probably we're going to need to fucking sell to buy. Our finances, I'm going to skip ahead to the 1st of November. Okay, that's fine. Can I? No, I can't. You know, yeah. We've lost 2 million this month. Our income has been 4 million. Our outgoing has been 7 million. Hell, I might even need to fucking sell. Just to make it through the month. So, yeah. Leon will be doing another 8. He will probably make that. So somebody is going to have to be sold, probably in January. I will try and get a replacement, but it will have to be on the cheap, and it's not going to be able to be from the Premier League. It's going to have to be my main one I'm looking to shift on is unfortunately going to be either Kefram Thuram or Rosario, which I might be okay with selling Rosario. He's been playing an average of 6.7. Lemon has probably been better than him. He's picked up a lot of yellow cards as well. It's not been great. This might actually, by the end of January, I might actually be broken. Because this team is an absolute state. But This is basically what happens when your owner takes all of his money out because he wants to go and buy a Premier League club. Those of you who may have missed it, Jim Ratcliffe was really, really interested in buying both Chelsea and Man United, and I think I mentioned this at the beginning of the video. But for like full explanation, Ratcliffe over the summer expressed interest in buying Man United, or at least when they announced they put it up for sale, and he was chasing after potentially buying Chelsea when they went up for sale as a result of Abramovich being forced to sell the club. And it seems from the state of the finances here that Ratcliffe has completely withdrawn funding from Nice, which is why they're kind of relying on a lot of Premier League cast-offs and people who they could pick up for free. We'll have to see how we do. Oh, that's a job interview. I mean, they spent, transfers in 45 million. Transfers out 30.5 million, though some of that was... No, there was, loan 525k total fee, because obviously there's an obligatory buy fee. But yeah, the finances are fucking knackered. I mean, we're well within the wage budget, but even then, we're 4 million in the red. And I know I'm only here for a season, but in the January, I might try and ask for more funds, but if we're that much in the red, we're not going to be able to get it. I might need to make a huge sale. My biggest fear is I'm going to have to sell Andy Delors. He is our top scorer, but even then, he's only top scorer with, 13 goals? Chris, 9 in the league. I mean, it's not a bad return. It's just for for being in 5th. We've played 13, won 7, drawn 3, lost 3, and we've got some tough games coming up. Actually, I mean, schedule, please. Obviously, I'm going to do the next 3, but we got a big game against Lyon, big game against RC Lens, but that's not till the 28th. And then you're probably going to see, all of these 4 together, because obviously it's only 4. So you'll see November and December together, because they take a huge break for the World Cup. And then that's that. Anyway, I'm going to try and de-stress. I can't even enjoy, seriously, I can't even enjoy the wins. Because some of the wins have literally been like the game against Auxerre, we went 2-0 down. Inside, I think it was 20-something minutes. Yeah, 2-0 down inside 20 minutes. I was just like, oh my god. I know they're bottom of the league, but even still. But we managed to bring it back at least. But I just look at it and I'm just like, I'm supposed to get into the Europa League with this fucking team. So we've got a game against Dinamo Batumi next. We've already qualified from the group, and I think we are basically top. We're not going to get dethroned. I think even if we lose, young boys can't overtake us. So we're fine. We're probably automatically going to finish top. That means we don't have to play the qualifying round. Or the one-off knockout round. So we should be okay there. Obviously, we're not into the 9th round until January. But we should be alright. I said I'm not probably going to focus on the league so much towards the end of the season. I'm going to be focusing on the Coupe de France. And maybe on the Conference League, if I can try and get a trophy. That was sort of my main goal for this. Because I'm basically, never mind reaching the Europa League, I think this team will struggle to get into Europe. Unless we either win Europe or we win the Coupe de France. So, yeah, I'm gonna get through November and December, and I'll see you at the end of then. Okay, we're at the end of December. It's Meltdown's over, but I'm still not particularly happy. I'm a little bit concerned. So the schedule went okay, actually. I mean, we stomped Dinamo Batumi. That's actually now the biggest win in the history of the UEFA Conference League. So we got goals from Boudaoui, Laborde, a hat-trick from Nicolas Pepe, and a late goal from Mario Lamina. And then Tim Ream scored an own goal, so I dragged him off in 30 minutes. I was like, nope, you're fucking done, sunshine. So Delort and Ross Barkley helped us to a win against Brest. We were 3-0 up at half-time, and then we almost chucked that shit away. I told you, we can't even win without causing me a massive amount of stress. Then we surprisingly beat Lyon, who are actually, struggling, with goals from Delort and Laborde. Talicio scored a late one, and I had to stress. Then we did the friendlies over the World Cup. As you saw in the last thing, Poland won the World Cup, which was very surprising. In that little in that little break you saw. We played a friendly against Villarreal. We were 3-0 down at half-time, and then we came back and actually drew 3-3. Smashed Saint-Liège 5-1, beat Werder Bremen 3-1. Feel bad about that one, because I grew a little bit attached to Werder Bremen after my exploits last year with them. You only saw half it half it on screen. Off screen when I kind of like started doing it again. I won like the Pokal, the league, and I've been following them ever since. I have a little bit of affection for that Werder Bremen team I built, and then I fucked off to Inter Milan. Anyway, and then we stomped Lens, which is quite surprising because they've been doing quite well. Laborde got 2, Delort got 1, and Diop got 1. So for January, it seems fine. We're playing fucking Nimes, Rennes, Montpellier, Stade de Reims, and Lille. We should be okay. We need to really win these games. At the moment, we are 3rd in the league. Surprisingly, Rennes are struggling, considering how well they usually do. Rennes are on the relegation zone. Of course, there's 2 more relegation spots because they're cutting the number of teams in Ligue 1. Because why not just help PSG by giving them less games to play so they can do better in Europe? Obviously, PSG at this point are already running away with the league. There's nothing you can do about it. It's what they fucking do. So, yeah. Reach quarterfinal minimum. That should be fine. There's a lot of shit teams still in here. We're playing, yeah. In terms of transfers, I have sold... I forget his name. That's how forgettable he was. Oh, yeah, that goes through on the 1st. But Lucas de Cunha has gone on Lucas de Cunha has gone on loan with Sint-Trudian, and I think Bilal Brahimi is leaving to go to Kiwi Melchinan for a couple of, I think 800k I've sold him for. So we've got some money in the bank. I'm going to go look for another DM because Schneiderlin may also be leaving. I'm trying to get rid of Badawi as well, but he's refused to leave and I can't really shift him because no one can afford his wages, which is really annoying. I'm beginning to think that a lot of clubs in this game like either operate over their wage budget or like on the edge of it. So I'm going to go look for a player. I'm going to try and keep to the rule of going to the Premier League. I said I was maybe going to break it or get rid of it because it's like really difficult to sign players. But I might either look for a cheap loan deal or just find somebody who has absolutely surplus requirements. I'm going to maybe bend the rule a bit and go for players who were previously in the Premier League but kind of flopped out of it. Because that was supposed to be the rules, that sign a bunch of PL rejects. Like very much in the style of what makes up quite a few members of Nice's team. So we'll see how we do with that. Anyway, I'm going to continue to drink my tea and we're going to join at the end of January. And I will let you know about any transfers I've made. So, see you then. Okay, it is the end of January, and it's gonna be fun. So, first thing's important about the squad. Youssef Attal is leaving at the end of the season to join Marseille. And, oh god, Jean-Claire Todibo, A, he's suspended, B, he's unhappy, because I wouldn't let him join Bayern Munich. I would have actually let him join had it not been for the fact that he's valued at about between 25 and 45 million, and Bayern came in with a lowball offer that was 7 million up front, and then like 7 million in 3 installments, and I basically told them to fuck off. I hit them back with an offer of 40 million or nothing, and they backed out. So he's not going to fucking Bayern then. As for that, it's the same fucking problem. My entire team is under want. I almost sold Delort to Juventus, but backed out at the last minute, and I'm glad I didn't, because he's very quickly becoming my best goal scorer. 15 goals and 20 appearances is pretty good. Ross Barkley is wanted by Wolves. Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad return, actually. 14 appearances, 6 goals, 3 assists, 1 player of the match. He's done quite good, actually. Yeah, a lot of the team were also against Jean-Claire Todibo, besides VT and Zuma, because they're going along the line of, well, what's the point if he doesn't want to be here? Which, fair enough, but fuck you, I'm keeping him. So, Christ. So we started off with a 1-1 draw against Rennes, because, of course, Rennes are, like, second from bottom, so, of course, they outplay us the whole fucking game. Good win against Nimes in the cup. Montpellier, we won 3-1. That was good as well. 2 goals from Pepe and a goal from Kefran Thuram. Again, this team does not win easily. Even their wins are stressful because we tend to fall behind really early. A boring 0-0 draw against Stade Reims, because why not? And they were all over us the whole game as well. This one was funny. We won 5-3 against a semi-pro side. I actually straight told them their performance wasn't good enough. And now I've got Ross Barkley complaining to me about player trait, improved people management. You were too harsh after a win. Unfortunately, there was no button to tell them maybe don't concede 3 goals against a fucking semi-pro side. Then maybe I won't get pissed off. And then surprisingly, we beat Lille with a brace from Ross Barkley himself and an early goal from Andy Delort. They did get it again. They got a late one back, and I was sweating for the rest of the game. So we got to get through February. We've got to play Marseille twice, and I might throw the Ligue 1 game because I'm more focused on the Coupe de France game. Oh, and if we get through the Coupe de France, we get to face PSG. No, I'm not fucking joking. So there goes any hope of progressing in the Coupe de France. That's fun. So, yeah. Unless Lyon could do us a fucking favour. So, we also got games against Ajaco, Stade de Reims. That one's at home, so we shouldn't do too badly. And then we got a game against Monaco. At the moment, we're in second. I don't expect that to hold. If we can at least get a nice win against Lens, it can give us a little bit of breathing room. Otherwise, I think we probably won't. We've qualified for the Europa Conference League, but we'll do all that later. So, I will see you at the end of... just before we go, I did make one more squad addition. And it is from the Premier League, so I didn't break my rule. I brought in Jairo Riedewald from Palace. I got him for about 3 million after selling Budawi to Borussia Mönchengladbach. I keep saying Mönchengladbach. I think it's Mönchengladbach. He's only 2.5 stars, but he's literally just here to do a fucking job. That's it. He's just here to make up the numbers and fill in space. He's literally a squad player on 49 grand a week. Oh, fuck. Anyway, I've got to get the transfer deadline day out of the way, and then I'm out. And then I'll see you at the end of February. Anyway, let's get on with it. Yeah, I don't really know either. I've never had anything like this before. We beat Monaco 10-1 somehow. We got 4 goals from Laborde, 2 from... Here we go. 2 from Delort, 4 from Laborde, 3 from Diop, 1 from Barkley, and then fucking Minamino scored in between. But by that point, we were 7-1 up at half-time. I have no idea what the fuck happened. I just assumed that they played a ridiculously high line and we were just passing through it. We absolutely fucking got... We destroyed them, basically. Which was very, very odd. I'm not going to do that. As for the rest of the schedule, so we drew 1-1 with Lens. We lost 4-2 to Marseille, which was fucking painful. They were 4-1 up at half time, basically, or 3-1 up at half time. We got fucking annihilated by Payet and Sanchez. Then we turned that around, beat them 3-0 in the cup, helped when they had Vertau sent off, or Vertu. We beat Ajaco, beat Stade de Reims, and then, we battered Monaco. We are still in second. We've been drawn against young boys in the Europa Conference League. Obviously, we're about to get battered in turn because we've got to go into a quarter-final against PSG in the Coupe de France, which is really annoying because I really did want to win the Coupe de France this season, so at least they get a trophy. Because Nice missed out on it last year because they surprisingly couldn't perform against FC Nantes, who ended up winning the cup. And it would be nice to actually win a trophy for them. That was my goal, was to win a trophy. So either the Europa Conference League or the Coupe de France. So, we're second. We got a massive goal difference thanks to demolishing Monaco. Again, I have no idea how that happened. Don't look at me. I guess the code must have been funny. But I'm expecting, to be honest, the March is going to be fucking horrible. So, we've got PSG, we've got Auxerre. Nantes, I'm not expecting to get anything. Young Boys is going to be extremely annoying to get through. Lorient should be okay. My only concern, obviously, is getting battered in the Coupe de France. In the meantime, Todibo is no longer unhappy because he knows he's not fucking going anywhere. Because I won't allow that shit. Delort is scoring like fucking wild. So is Laborde now as well. Wanted by Manchester, of course he is. 12 goals in 23 appearances, which fucking helps when you score 4 in one game. And then Delort is just doing Delort things. Is it Delort or Delore? I think it's Delore. Yeah, 17 goals and 24. Diop is also contributing now as well. He got a hat-trick. Yeah, he's 8 goals and 18 in the league, and then he's got quite a few in the Cups as well. Like 3 in the Cups, 3 in the Continent. He's on, I think, about 14 goals for the season. We've actually got decent goal score. Like, it's funny, it's turning to the background rover save, where there's like a lot of goal scorers spread throughout the team. Even, Ross Barkley's getting goals. We got this guy for... I don't believe they got him for free. But yeah, it's just being what it is. Of course, now the problem is my entire fucking team is wanted. But that's what happens. But then I'm not here after this season. This is one season. I'm not doing multiples. Anyway, so I'm going to go get my ass demolished. Quite possibly, literally, by PSG. No, I'm going to go get the shit kicked out of me by PSG, and then I will see you at the end of March. Alright, we're at the 1st of April. Let's find out how we did in March. We beat PSG. In the Coupe de France, we did it. We went 2-0 down, and then we came back, got one back, and then we were a bit fortunate because Pablo Sarabia got injured, and they'd already used all of their substitutions. So they were down to 10 for the rest of the game, and Thuram ended up hitting 2. We came back, and we fucking did it. We beat PSG. We're facing Troyes in the semi-final. We've got a really, really good chance to win a trophy now. So, the rest of the season was great. We got a 3-1 win against Auxerre, 3-1 win against Young Boys. Then we got hit with a massive fucking injury crisis, where we lost several key starters, starting Ramsey and then losing players like Lamina, and I think for a while we lost Ross Barkley for a couple of days. Then Latomba got injured. We drew 1-1 with Nantes. Then we drew 3-3 with Young Boys trying to get through the fucking game, and Latomba got injured. So we had a lot of problems. We were very lucky we went 3-0 up. Otherwise, we could have had a couple of issues. We basically needed that first round, that first leg win, and then we smashed Lorient. Somehow with a very weakened team. Seriously, for this fucking game, I had to play Tim Ream at DM because I didn't have any other fit defensive midfielders. My squad is paper thin. Injuries do not help SI. Ugh. Anyway, so we're up against Angers tomorrow in game time, and then we've got the Coupe de France semi against Troyes. Then we got PSG. I'm just going to fucking throw that game away. I don't fucking care. They can just beat the shit out of me. I'd step on me harder, daddy. Then we've got Osijek in from Croatia. We managed to get the easier side of the quarterfinal draw. Because if we get past Osijek, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering that, but whatever. We get Silkeborg or Vitória Guimarães. Meanwhile, you got West Ham, Villarreal, Twente or Basel. So that's, you've got that really difficult side of the draw, and then you've got the easy side of the draw, which is going to hopefully give me a decent pass to the final. So I should, without any major problems, be through to 2 finals, and I should, by average, win one of them. If I get to 2... I want to win a trophy. If I get to 2 fucking finals and I lose both of them, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. Just before we depart and return in April, I just want to show you this because this is a fucking thing. So, we're going to have a look at Kylian Mbappe's stats for the season. He's being rested for the next game, which is fine, because he scored 49 goals in 29 appearances. He scored, I think, 60 for the fucking season. But yeah, he's hit like nearly 60 goals for the season. It's fucking crazy. And then I think they've got fucking Messi on about like fucking 19, Neymar on about 14. Though mind, I think Delort at the moment's on about 29 goals for the season. So's Laborde. Yeah, Andy Delort's on 28. Laborde is on like fucking 26. We've got quite a hefty goal tally ourselves. Helped by winning like, 10-1 against Monaco. But I digress. I'm going to come back in April and we'll see how far we get. Hopefully we'll be in 2 finals. Okay, it's the end of April, or almost the end of April. I've still got to play the Coupe de France final. I'm leaving that for the moment, I'm going to do that in a separate thing, because I'll just go through the schedule and the amount of stress I've been through. So, the biggest problem has been, it has been non-stop. From about, the second, we had the international break after the 19th, And then it's just been non-stop. Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, Wednesday, Saturday. So what they've basically done is somebody down at the French Football Federation has just decided that my team's fitness does not matter. Because they're stressing... I would imagine because basically what they're doing is they're stressing to get the fucking league season finished by June. Because they're not going to move anything else, apparently. We started off quite well. We got a 2-1 victory against Angers. We got the win against Troyes, which was fun, actually, because they equalised and then we just battered them the second half. Obviously, the PSG game went as that was in the Coupe de France semi-final. That was funny. Then the PSG game went as expected. This one was kind of awkward because I kept a lower defensive line, a lower line of engagement against PSG to try and see the match out, and then I forgot to turn it off against Osijek. So I gave their team far too much time in the ball and found myself 2-0 down. And I was like, what's happening? And then I got to the 2-2. We managed to pull the game back, brought it to 2-2, and then I looked at the fucking tactics afterwards. Like, oh shit, I haven't changed it. So I was still sat deep against Osijek, and then unsurprisingly they got 2 goals. So we ended up fucking, after beating Brest, we went back to a standard line, and then we won. Barely. It wasn't exactly easy. So, 2 goals from Pepe helped us there. Then we drew 0-0 against Clermont because everyone was tired. We beat Troyes 3-2. Attal got sent off, which is really annoying because now he was going to be my starting fullback for the Coupe de France final, and now he's not going to be able to start. And I have an endless amount of fitness issues in my squad because everyone's had to play nearly every single game at some point, where I had to switch them over from subs to anything. Reem has now left for New York Red Bulls, which is fucking frustrating because I can't replace him. But he was basically saying, I want to leave. I did ask him to stay until the end of the season. He was like, absolutely not. So I now have to try and go and face Lille in a Coupe de France final. I might have to throw this shit away and just try and focus on winning the Conference League. Because my goal isn't... I didn't make the goal last week, and that was enough stressful. The 10% fucking... 10% transfer retention rate and having no money to sign any replacements. But, this is going to be something else. I'll talk more about it in the thing, but this has been absolutely fucking mad. Anyway, I will join you after the Coupe de France final. There won't be a cut thing with the swoosh and the fucking... I've done it. I have won the Coupe de France. So the goal has been achieved. I've won a trophy this season. Okay, it's the end of the season, basically. I played right through past the Europa Conference League, and you will see why. So, we started off pretty badly against Rennes. Joe Bryan scored and then got himself sent off like 20-something minutes later, so eventually we collapsed. Because we only had like fucking 10 men on the field and it was very difficult. We smashed Vittorio Guimaraes over 2 legs in between a 3-0 win over Strasbourg. That one was good, actually, with Diop getting the hat-trick. Then we got Toulouse. We just about got the win. Then, we were 5-1 up at one point. Then Valerie Germain came on and fucking scored 1, set up 3 other goals for Sevigny. At one point, I put my line engagement down on low, my defensive line, because they were just hitting balls over the top. But they were still playing over the defence, and Sevigny was just running over them. We literally threw away a 5-1 lead and drew 5-5, because of course we fucking did. Because if we'd have won it, we'd have secured Champions League qualification. But we still did anyway, because Marseille fucked up. So, I wasn't here for this game. I went on holiday for this game. And Delort scored 5 goals. Then we lost in... they managed to outrun us in the end, Villarreal, because obviously we had everybody tied, because we don't have the squad depth to be able to rest everybody before Lyon. So, we end the season in second place behind... Jesus fuck. 105 goal difference. Ours is 37. Sweet fucking Christmas. Yeah, 108 points, 105 goal difference. 36 won, 2 lost all season. 9 draws, 6 losses. 23 wins, 78 points, 37 goal difference. Marseille finished 3rd, so we've got that UCL alongside UCL. Alongside Marseille. Andy Delort scored 31 goals. 40 goals overall. He scored like 5 in Continent, 8 in the Cup. You want to add to that, if we go into the squad, Gaetan Laborde scored 18 in the league and like another 30-something overall because he scored fucking 11 in the Continent, 6 in the Cup. Nicolas Pepe finished the Conference League's top scorer. He only scored 6 goals in the league, but he scored 14 in Europe, which is pretty good. So he was very much became my continent man. So that was useful. Even Siofane Diop, he scored 12 in the league, scored another 6 in the continent. He scored like 20 goals for the season. His agent has now come to me. He's already on 70.5. He wants a new contract, which is fair enough. But I offered, I think, 40 grand a week. His agent wants 64,000 a week for him, plus a massive signing on an agent's fee. I straight asked him to sack his agent. Watch this. Yeah. I might as well, honestly, I might just sell him. Not the first time this happened to Siofane Diop, actually. When I did Werder Bremen, the bit that you didn't see on camera in between, I think it was season 3 and what would have been season 4, before I just jettisoned the whole thing, was my attempts to sign Siofane Diop. He was, oh god, let's see. He was about 24. I got the bid accepted for about 18 million. He was already on about, I was told he'd expect a wage of about 45 to 50k. And then his agent straight demanded 98,000 a week to him to play for Werder Bremen in the Champions League. I told him to fuck off. Literally. I was just like, are you fucking joking? And then, I think on top of that, they wanted like a 110 million, like a £2 million signing on bonus for his agent. Basically, it would have literally bankrupted the club to sign him, which was fucking retarded. Other decent performers, obviously, Kefram Thuram. He did quite well, even though 5 goals in the league, but he got a few in the cup as well. Didn't really get that many goals, but put in a lot of good performances. Latomba was okay when he wasn't made of glass. Jean-Claire Todibo got past his issues with Bayern to come back. Vitti was okay, but I had more luck with Sorensen, and then it's just trying to make people work. I'm going to go to the end of fucking season if I can. Ross Barkley also did quite well as well. Here we go, OGC Nice review. The new arrivals. Yeah, best one, Gaetan Laborde, Diop, Pepe, Barkley. There's a ton of them that obviously they were there before me, so a lot of them are like, yeah. Jaro Riedewald. Yeah. And then, obviously, Tim Ream would be somewhere on here if we hadn't sold him already. But he went off to America. Yeah. So we got Champions League football. Season was great. Obviously, the 10-1 against Monaco was biggest win. How was that the match to remember? Surely the 10-1 against Monaco would be the match to remember. Jesus fucking Christ. Whatever. Obviously, we've lost a fuckload of money. Everything is up, but we've obviously lost shit tons of cash because they massively overspent on transfers and they were massively overspending on the wage budget because that's the thing that happened. So this was basically the best team that I could put out, bar maybe switching out Brian and Bard. Brian, by the way, got a fucking huge Achilles injury and went back to Fulham. Accolades, yep, all of that. Brett. Yep, that's about right. And he got the golden boot. Yep, done all that. You can better qualify the Europa League. Alright. I don't care about any of this. Because obviously I'm not staying. So, that was a fun adventure. Basically, I think I screwed myself with my rule because I forgot how overinflated the Premier League is and how thin Nice's squad is. But considering what I was able to cobble together, I think I did quite well. I think I was massively helped by some very fortunate results and other people scoring up elsewhere. I think, realistically, the bit that was really frustrating was October, because even when we were winning, we were making ridiculously hard work of it. And the breakdown was genuine. I was genuinely looking at, I don't know whether I can get through the rest of this. because it's fucking painful. And it's just going to be me trying to stress out and almost fucking throwing games away. But at the same time, once we hit this patch, I think round about here, going into here, especially the end of February, where we ended up like just rinsing through teams, was pretty good. And then obviously we got through here as well. Getting through, massively beating PSG in the Coupe de France quarterfinal was huge. Honestly, this was still quite stressful. I had to do it with a paper-thin squad. It was a team that was literally a club that was hemorrhaging money. I mean, I think I mentioned this in October. I think I will actually back it up outside of a meltdown status. But I think it's pretty obvious that Jim Ratcliffe has taken a lot of money out of Nice because he's trying to either buy Chelsea or Manchester United. I'm pretty sure Jim Ratcliffe will never see this video and try and sue me for slander, but, you know. Slander is when it's spoken, libel when it's print. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll never see this video and take issue with anything I've said. I don't believe that anything I've said is actually that wrong. But yeah, it's really weird, because even when I was like selling players, the finances, they were losing a huge amount of money every single month. So, yeah, miscellaneous debt, original debt 52, remaining 49 million. Yeah, it's just, I think a lot of it is it's the debt that they've accumulated by Ratcliffe to buy the club. But a lot of the expenditure has been fucking crazy. If I was to rebuild the squad, I think probably if they're both going to be unhappy, wanted by what? How the fuck are you idiots going to afford Watford going to afford Andy Law? You know, I can literally cash in and sell him for like fucking 30 million. Cash in on Diop, raise about 50 million and go and sign like 8-9 players to build a squad. A couple of people I would probably look at. The only one I would go from the league, simply because I think it would be quite funny, and because I want a proper ball-playing centre-back who isn't fucking completely, who isn't like only 20 and still out of whack slightly, is to go in for Victor Lindelof. Because I know he's a ball-playing centre-back. Because you'd raise like 50 million, I could probably sign him for 24 million, still have 30 million to spend. So, you know. And then make a bunch of smaller signings. Just simply to say that I've signed a team from player from Manchester United. Honestly, all right. Except current vision. End of season team meeting. I don't care. So basically, yeah, it would probably have to be almost complete rebuild as well because Pablo Rosario would not be happy. But yeah. So. This has been the one season wonder with OGC Nice. It has been a challenge. And it only gets harder from here because next week's episode I'm going to Valencia, the club that Limericked. So please do look out for that one. That's going to be a doozy. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like. If you want to see more, you can always subscribe. I've been Canberra Run, and thank you for watching.